Hello, everyone. Welcome to Headlines of the Day. This is 24th of February 2022, and we are back again with some of the major articles from the Hindu newspaper. Let's begin our today's discussion with the very first article on page number 1. It is from GS3 Economy section. Now, this article is about the money laundering case. Recently, Enforcement Directorate has arrested Maharashtra's Minority Development Minister Nawab Malik in this case. So, from this article, you have to take certain key highlights, and those are: what is money laundering, the process involved in money laundering, impacts of the globalization on money laundering and evolving threats, concerns and preventive measures, the government agencies involved, and what is the way forward. Okay, moving on page number 1 itself, from GS2, from the viewpoint of international relations. Now, Russia has said that India's stand is balanced and independent in case of the Ukraine-Russia crisis. So the US sanctions over Ukraine won't stop the S-400 delivery. We know that we have a deal with Russia over the S-400 missile defense system. So from this article, what are the key highlights you have to consider? What is India's stand at the Security Council on Russia's move on the eastern Ukrainian region? And how or if new sanctions imposed on Russia would affect the delivery of S-400 missile defense system and other equipments to India? Let's move on to page number 4 from GS2. Under the section Welfare Schemes, you'll find an article that talks about old pension scheme back in Rajasthan. Now, this article is about the National Pension Scheme. You have to read about the significance of this scheme and its role in ensuring the financial security of the citizens. Moving further, on page number 4 itself, you'll find an article from GS2 Polity and Governance. Now, this article is about the Vanyar quota law. Now, Vanyar reservation has been in news for quite a while now. Article speaks that Supreme Court reserves judgment on the Tamil Nadu's Vanyar quota law. So the earlier Madras High Court decision was challenged in Supreme Court. Therefore, the Supreme Court has reserved its judgment. Now, from this article, you have to take certain key highlights. You have to know about the Supreme Court's judgment in a batch of petitions challenging Madras High Court decision that declared state quota law which provided 10% reservation to the Vanyars in Tamil Nadu, and why Madras High Court declared Vanyar reservation law as unconstitutional. Okay, and with this, what is the stand of the Tamil Nadu government and what is the way forward? Let's move on. On page number 5, you'll find an article from GS3 Economy section that talks about Jammu and Kashmir government approving the foreign direct investment policy for the Union Territory, with an objective to facilitate investments exceeding rupees 100 crore with minimum of 51% foreign stake. You can draw some of the key highlights from this article as: what is the recent policy on foreign direct investment FDI for Jammu and Kashmir with a minimum of 51% foreign stake? What is the basis of this policy? And what are the aims and objectives associated with it? Now let's move on to the editorial section. The very first article from editorial section is Ukraine as Matryoshka doll set off crisis. As we know that Russia has declared eastern Ukrainian Donbas region to be independent and divided it into two countries, the Donetsk and Luhansk region. So from this article, you have to take certain key points that what do Russians' decision to recognize the self-declared Donetsk and Luhansk republics mean for the recent crisis? What is the Minsk peace process? What is the response of the West? And what are the pros and cons for Russia in this? You'll also get to know about the ramifications for India and the world and the possible way ahead. So this article was on page number 6, GS2 International Relations part. Moving further, so the article is on page number 6, GS3 Economy section, and it states that the budget lacks power to transform these services. While clean energy is a priority, providing power has not been linked with the policy making in the development sector. From this article, you'll get to know the recent budgetary allocation for electricity and development sectors, why finance is largely unavailable to ensure reliable electricity supply to schools and health facilities, how the availability of electricity supply can improve the delivery of health and education, some of the issues and challenges linked to it, and what steps need to be taken in this context. Moving further, on page number 7, from GS2, you will find an article that talks about drafting a new constitution is impossible. Now, this article revolves around a statement given by the Chief Minister of Telangana recently, and he said that India needs a new constitution. So, let's take up some of the key highlights from this article. Why there is a need to draw a new constitution for India, and why is it not possible? What are the major events that took place while India's constitution was drafted, and how these events may take place in present scenario? Further on, what are the ways to resolve the conflicts between the center and state, and what is the possible way forward? Let's move on to page number 8 now. There's an article from GS2 Welfare Schemes that talks about the one rank, one pension plea. So, the Supreme Court has recently completed the hearing on one rank, one pension plea. Now, this topic has been in news for quite a while now. Some of the key highlights from the article are you have to know about the recent judgment of Supreme Court in a petition claiming that government's implementation of OROP and why has it been faulty, right? Moving further, let's talk about an article from Defense Sector GS3 on page number 10. It talks about a defense exercise that is known by the name Milan. So Milan will be held in Vizag from February 25. So from this article, you have to learn the facts related to Milan exercise and the Cobra Warrior. Moving further, let's take up the last article for the day. It is on page number 10, GS3 from Economy section. It states that RBI is ready for a fair debate on crypto assets, says Patra. The Reserve Bank of India will proceed with great caution in evolving the retail applications of the newly launched digital currency, that is the CBDC, and is willing to engage in a debate on crypto assets. So this statement was given by the Deputy Governor Michael Patra. So from this article, you'll get to know about the central bank digital currency, its features, and what are the benefits associated with it. So these were some of the major articles from the Hindu newspaper today. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles. And for more such videos, do stay tuned to the next IAS YouTube channel.